Hi all. Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Morning, everybody. My goodness, you guys know I don't usually put out this many videos in a row, but there's been so much information coming out that I felt like I needed to just keep going with all of this. And this video has a lot of information, news stories, and updates on old stories. So let's just jump right in, shall we? Let's go. This first story is not really a story, it's just an observation. First of all, their Sussex Royal account was never shut down. It's still active, and now as you can see above, there's a link to the Archewell site on it. But anyway, my interesting point on this site was what they wrote, just to show that they're a bunch of hypocrites. On the site, they actually wrote that they would not be starting a foundation. We can see how well that went. Moving on. So, of course, here's the foundation that they started. And by the way, you guys, stay off of their website. Don't even go take a peek. Because when you do, they collect cookies, information from your computer, which I find interesting for people that are so interested in their privacy. And they're allowed to sell it to third parties for money. So stay off their website. Anyway, the first bit of controversy came when they decided to use that name, and they decided that they were going to be the only ones using it. And they tried to take a small business owner in another country who'd already been using that name, and they tried to make him legally stop. So he's in the Philippines, and he got into a copyright battle because Harry and Meghan said that Archewell is theirs, but he has a deodorant brand called Archewell Harvatira. But he said, he's not giving in to them. He's just going to fight them. And he did. And guess what? He won. So now Harry and Meghan's attempt to trademark Archewell in the United States is not going well at all. These two applied to have the foundation and the audio protected by company law in America. And they sent documents to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office saying that they were the only ones who could use those terms. They used very vague wording saying that their stuff was going to be for creation and development and production and distribution of all different kinds of things. And the office came back and said, you have to clarify this stuff. So they have 6 months to try to fix this problem. Otherwise, there goes their trademark. Moving on to the next story. Now, we all know that Tyler Perry, who didn't know Harry and Meghan and who didn't have any ties to them, suddenly, out of the blue, offered them security, a house, a jet to get them there, all kinds of stuff. I think we all know that Tyler Perry is friends with Oprah, and Oprah had a hand in on that. I think that's pretty obvious. But here's where it gets interesting. One of my followers sent me an email that said that the word is that Tyler Perry actually threw them out of the house, that they didn't leave on their own. Okay, so I started digging into that. Sure enough, I found an article by C.J. Hawkins that says exactly that. And by the way, if you're not following this blogger, you really should be because she's phenomenal. The rumor is that Meghan was mistreating Tyler Perry's staff. And Meghan got upset over a towel or something, and she had a go at one of the workers for Tyler Perry, and apparently that worker didn't speak much English, and it didn't go well. The staff supposedly reported some things that went on in the house, and one of the things that went on was that Meghan apparently told Harry that he would always be in his brother's shadow and he won't be anything as long as he doesn't listen to her. And then Meghan apparently threw something like a glass or something that night. And when Tyler Perry came back to the house, he was extremely unhappy, and the staff coordinated. They called him to explain what had happened that morning. Now, that worker who quit, she eventually did quit, had worked for Tyler Perry apparently for 14 years. And so there was a meeting, and it was concluded that Harry and Meghan couldn't stay there anymore, and he wanted them gone the next day. And apparently he contacted Oprah and told her, get them out of my house. It's also being reported that Meghan wanted the whole house due to security reasons. What does that sound like? Doesn't that sound like on one of her tours, she was getting a wing of a house and she was upset because she wanted the whole house? The article is a good read. I highly suggest that you guys look it up. Okay, moving on. Another one of my followers sent me the following that you see above, that the wife and husband were looking to give another interview and were shopping for an interviewer because apparently they can't use Oprah again. She's like oversaturated. And also, rumor is, again, that Oprah is upset because she realizes she was told a lot of lies in the first interview. Now, I normally wouldn't put much credence in this, but then this picture came up, Harry taping everybody as he's riding through the UK to several of his engagements. You can't tell me that's not going to be used, because I guarantee you it will be. Now, the next topic I just want to touch on is Meghan's book, The Bench. How can it be on a bestseller list? We already know it's not selling well. It's only sold like 20,000 copies in the entire United States. I mean, that's nothing. So how is it listed? And this person apparently works in a bookstore, and she wrote me the following. So if the seller doesn't return the amount of books that he ordered, as long as he doesn't return the unsold stock, the publisher considers them as sold. Now I get it. Now I know why the numbers look like they do. But even then, the numbers still suck. Okay, last story for today. You know, I always said I thought it was a little odd that Harry and Meghan didn't make any money from the Oprah interview. How obvious was it that somehow they made money? Well, this came up on Twitter, and yes, it appears that they actually did make money from the Oprah interview. Now that I believe. It's being said that while Oprah said that I'm not paying you for this interview, that doesn't mean CBS didn't pay them for the interview. I just have no trouble believing that. These two are all about money. There's no way they would do that unless they had some funds coming to them. It's been update time. I'm telling you, you can't take your eyes off this dog for a second. But this is what I found when I went to check on him. What are you doing? Caught ya. Look what I found over there on the floor. Want it? Get it! You're not very good at fetch. No, but that's okay. You love. Well, lots of stories again to cover. What do you guys think about the rumor of Tyler Perry basically throwing them out of the house? What do you think about their Archewell problems in trying to get the name copyrighted in the United States? I just think that's crazy. Anyway, don't forget to leave your comments below. Don't forget you can email me. I read every email. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget about that coffee fund. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future content. And as always, you guys, have a great day.